highly anticipated Disney Plus series, Coleen Rooney, The Real Wagatha Story, is out today. The series follows Coleen Rooney's spat with former bestie Rebekah Vardy, who was leaking Rooney's private Instagram stories to the press. Believe it or not, it's the drama that captivated the nation and resulted in the most high-profile defamation case in UK history. I'm now joined by entertainment journalist Ellie Phillips, who is at Euston Station because she's about to host an event in Liverpool about the documentary. Ellie, why exactly is this programme so highly anticipated?
I think it's because we followed the trial so closely, and it was just so shocking that people so high profile in the public eye, who you think have no worries in the world, actually had this massive fallout that played out in the public eye. And the fact that then Rebekah Vardy decided she wanted to try and sue Coleen Rooney was just, I mean, I thought it was outrageous. And then to see that kind of play out. And also, I think what adds to it is the fact that Coleen Rooney is a very normal girl from Liverpool. You know, she grew up working class in Liverpool. She was 16 when she was thrown into the limelight. And so I think it's because we followed her from then and seen her life lived through the public eye. All its ups and downs, everything with Wayne Rooney, if you think about all the affairs, you think about moving to America, everything they've endured and gone through, the 4 children, there's so much that goes on in her life. And to have seen her kind of use her platform in a way that was so unexpected to expose another celebrity kind of doing the dirty, just seemed fascinating to everyone. I've already seen the first episode, the 3 episodes. They're out now on Disney Plus. They dropped at midnight. And it's so good. Like, it is so good to watch. And it's interesting because it's in 3 parts. The first episode looks back at her history, where she's from. And that's so interesting to see where she comes from, her morals, her values, her upbringing. The second installment is all about kind of the trap, if you will, how she kind of found out that it was Rebekah Vardy and got this evidence together. And then the third is the trial. So it's been done brilliantly. It's really good to watch. It's kind of a thriller when you watch it, even though you know what's going to happen. It's done so well that it's a bit of an addictive watch. Yeah. And I am literally about to jump on the train to Liverpool to host the premiere that's happening there tonight at the Everyman Cinema. So I'm going to be there with Coleen tonight so that you can see it with celebrities, influencers, press, and of course all her family and friends.
So Colleen's going to be there?
Yes, Colleen's going to be there with everyone. All her family is going to be there with her, supporting her. So it's going to be a really, really exciting night in Liverpool. She is our OG Scouse bird, so we love her.
She's your superstar, yeah. Now, I must admit, I'm kind of at the end of my tether with Wagatha Christie, but more is still to come. But the one thing, as an old Fleet Street hack, I will concede, it's produced some brilliant headlines. There's one on the front of the Sun today and one on the front of the Mail, and you'll have to explain this, Ellie. Coleen used Wayne's secret vasectomy in Wagatha battle with Rebekah Vardy. What's that all about?
So it's about the fact that she leaked stories that were and weren't true, and in terms of the entrapment that she did to try and catch Rebekah Vardy out, she planted these fake stories on her Instagram, and it was those fake stories that then fed to the Sun that that Coleen used to prove that it only came from one account by blocking every other account who's seeing them on her Instagram stories. The only account that could view them was Rebekah Vardy. This is on Colleen's private Instagram account, where there are a couple of hundred people, close friends and family that she knows. And that's how she kind of tricked Rebekah Vardy into revealing what she was doing, because these were blatantly fake stories. Only this one account had seen them. And then suddenly, within days, they appeared in the Sun. And so it proved there was only one route that they could have come. And so she did that in a way that she planted multiple fake stories. There were a lot that she did. Only certain ones made it. But there were enough for her to be absolutely sure that that's what was happening and that's who did it. And I actually spoke to Coleen yesterday and at the preview screening, which was in London, and she said, you know, I didn't do an interview about this. I wanted to do a full documentary because I didn't want to have to try and condense what had happened to me into 3 minutes when there was so much. I mean, this for her goes back to 2017 when it first started and the first story started getting leaked. So it's been a long process for her. And it really, you know, made her feel a lot of paranoia. This is someone with a fairly small circle of very, very close and loyal friends who she's had since she was like 16 years old, from Liverpool, who do not talk to the Sun. And so there was a lot for her to deal with throughout this that I think people haven't really understood. And this shows it in a really, really interesting way.
I think one of the things that she's been talking about in this documentary is the strains on her marriage inflicted by Wayne's behaviour. One night he went out on the lash, met some girls in a bar and ended up with one of them. And even though he was 3 times over the booze limit, he offered to drive her home in her car. Apparently he gives an interview saying that nothing happened, but he admits that wasn't a very good look. And to which, and at one point, Coleen said, "I just can't carry on like this." Why has she stuck? Why has she stuck with Wayne, given some of the marital indiscretions he's been responsible? Once sleeping with a 48-year-old granny prostitute. Why has she stuck with him? I know you're going to wait for your train. Go on.
Yeah, I think it's
all right. It's all right. You've got 5 minutes.
First of all, is that they met very young, met when he was 16. They've never had any other partners, any other relationships. So I think they made mistakes early. So the things that you mentioned there, some of them were when he was very, very young and she was very, very young. They hadn't dated other people, and so.
But when he went with a 48-year-old prostitute, he was very, very young.
Very, very young at that point. And
that's all right. As long as he was young.
I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying they were very, very young. They were learning from those indiscretions. But the more recent ones, I think she genuinely was. I think for her, it was family. It was that my children. I want to keep a united, family for my 4 kids. I want to keep them together. I want to try and make this work. He admitted to what he'd done in his own words, his indiscretions, and admitted how stupid he was and how much he almost threw away everything that he loves and has. And I genuinely think it's for the family. She's very family orientated. You've got to remember, this woman does not need the money. She's got money in her own right.
Ellie, you've got to catch your train, but I've got to ask you one last question. After this series, can you promise me that we won't hear of Wagatha Christie ever again?
No.
I know you wouldn't be able to. Hey, listen, go and get your train, Ellie. Thank you very much for your time. That's Ellie Phillips, entertainment journalist, on her way to Liverpool to host a big event with Coleen Rooney about this documentary series.